Does thinking about the CMA exam questions stress you out? Keep watching to learn my best strategies to help you pass the exam on the first attempt. To help remove some of the stress from CMA exam questions, I'm going to cover the 12 best strategies to tackle essay questions. Also, I'm going to cover my 7 best strategies for multiple choice questions or MCQs. Hey, I'm Nathan Liao, aka CMA Coach, and my mission is to help you accelerate your income to a 6-figure salary and to gain massive influence in your organization as a certified management accountant. We'll go over essay strategies first, but let's start with a little refresher on the CMA exam format if you're new to the CMA. The CMA exam is divided into 2 parts, and you can choose whichever part you want to take first as long as it's within the 3 exam windows scheduled per year. Each exam part includes 100 MCQs and 2 essay scenarios with 4 to 6 questions in each scenario. But to make it to the essay section, you must first get it at least 50% in your MCQ section. All exam questions are computer-based. For MCQs, this means selecting the correct answer, and the essay section is written using a Word document program similar to Notepad. For each MCQ, you are given a question and 4 options to choose from. You must read the question carefully before selecting your answer, but there are a few more things you can do to boost your chances of passing the exam. More on that in a minute. Essay questions are graded by human graders using a grading guide. The evaluator's goal is not to deduct points from the essay, but to award you points for your answers. This means that even partial answers are worthwhile because they add points to your final score. You must complete both Part 1 and Part 2 in order to earn your designation, and each part is made up of different fundamental topics. Some content topics get more coverage than others, so let's look at a quick breakdown. In CMA Part 1, Financial Planning, Performance, and Analytics, 6 core areas are covered. Number 1, external financial reporting decisions, which is 15% of content coverage, planning, budgeting, and forecasting, which is 20%, performance management is also 20%, cost management is 15%, internal controls is also 15%, and lastly, technology and analytics, which is also 15%. The ICMA sample question handout, which I'll link to in the show notes, includes examples of essay and multiple choice questions. Based on these examples, you can expect scenario-based questions that require critical thinking and analysis. For instance, the first question involves a family-owned printing business and provides you with a few basic details about the business and financial statements. In CMA Part 2, Strategic Financial Management, 6 additional core content areas are covered. Financial statement analysis, which is 20% of the content coverage. Corporate finance is also 20%. Decision analysis is 25%. Risk management is 10%. Investment decisions is also 10%, and professional ethics, which is 15% of the content coverage. You can be asked to write an essay that falls within these topics, likely on a scenario with a different variables involved. For instance, a company that is reviewing capital budget submissions, you may be given projects, project beta values, and internal rate of return. You would then be asked to calculate the required return for various projects, obviously showing your work, define and explain terms, and identify additional approaches or recommendations. Regardless of the framing, essay questions are going to address the conceptual building blocks behind decision-making, reporting, regulatory compliance, and much more. The ICMA expects that your answers will convey the following cognitive skills: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. You will be expected to be thoughtful, concise, and make substantial statements that prove in-depth understanding of the topics. If you're enjoying this episode so far, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Now, here's how to answer CMA essay questions to score the most points possible. On the face of it, answering an essay question is fairly straightforward. You assess the presented scenario, respond by completing a calculation, and then explain your work and reasoning behind it. There are some strategies you can employ within this basic framework to achieve the highest possible score. First, learn to slow down and read and understand every single word of the question. The test isn't trying to trick you, but the essay questions can be quite complex and lengthy. You don't want to miss a key component that will negatively impact your logic or work. Second, complete as much as you can and show your work. Remember that you are awarded points for partial answers, so you don't want to give up early or simply gloss over the details. Make your work as comprehensive as possible, because even if you can't finish, you can demonstrate that you were on the right track and had the correct lines of critical thought. Each CMA essay question has clues to guide you to the correct answer. By paying attention to these clues and keeping an eye open for the following terms, you can determine what the essay is asking. Terms like calculate, analyze, examine, interpret, and apply. Use these verbs in your essay response as well, as much as you can. Fully understanding and following the directives contained in those words is a foremost strategy. You cannot succeed without it. Preparation and tuning into MVP phrases like those are absolutely key. Pair those with these 12 essay hacks and you'll be well prepared to master the CMA exam essay questions. Stay positive and stop fearing the essay section. Number 2, write down your calculations, work, and assumptions to earn partial credit. Keep in mind, this all must be done on the computer's exam simulation, because a scratch paper used during your exam will get thrown out after you leave the testing center. Number 3, expect 3 to 6 questions for each essay, so manage your time wisely. Number 4, scroll between questions and scenarios within the essay section before you start answering. This will help you manage your time better. Number 5, pay close attention to verbs like I mentioned earlier. Number 6, read the entire question to understand all of the requirements. Number 7, focus on organization, clarity, and the use of standard English. Number 8, be aware that graders look for effective writing skills. Number 9, be concise and to the point. Bullet points are actually okay also. Number 10, don't leave questions blank. Even if you're running out of time, write an outline of your main points. Number 11, make it easy for graders to give you points by showing your work. And number 12, use all of the time available and use it well. Which of these 12 CMA essay strategies resonates with you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Let's turn our attention to multiple choice questions now, or MCQs. Here are my 7 top tips and strategies to apply when doing MCQs. Number 1, analyze every single question. One of the biggest mistakes candidates make when working through questions is that they don't take the time to read the question correctly. In order to answer questions effectively, you will need to break it down into relevant information and non-essential details. MCQs are made up of 2 parts. Part number 1 is the STEM, which identifies the actual question or problem and other key information to help you identify the best answer. All other information, which is the second part, is considered distractors that may sound plausible but are in fact incorrect. I find it best to identify the STEM question and separate the distracting information from it. If it's easier, write down the important information so you can use it to help you narrow down your potential answer choices. Number 2, watch the clock. 3 hours may seem like a lot of time to answer 100 CMA multiple choice questions, but it will fly by quickly. So it's imperative that you put your time management skills to use so you don't run out of time. Aim for 90 seconds per question and don't get hung up on questions that you feel totally stumped on. If you stick to this time frame, you should have 30 minutes or so at the end of your exam to review your answers or go back and complete the questions you missed before. There is no better way to practice your time management skills than by using an online test bank or a solid CMA review course and timing yourself every time. The key is not to get hung up on complicated questions. You do have the ability to skip ahead, so answer the easier ones first and then go back through the entire section and tackle the harder ones after. Remember, all questions carry the same weight in points, so you want to answer as many as possible before losing precious time. Trying to figure out one tough question may mean potentially missing out on the opportunity to answer easier ones where you could have quickly earned the point. Number 3, be mindful of negatives. There is nothing more aggravating than negatively phrased sentences, but you will absolutely find CMA test questions like these in both test banks and on the actual exam. 3 of the answers will be truer than the 4th, but the featured negative words will make it stand out more. Here's an example of a negatively worded MCQ. Which of the following is not true in regards to the working capital method of international trade? Here's another example. All of the following examples of financing international trade are true except. So being aware of this will help you avoid falling for this sneaky tactic. Number 4, there is only one right answer. So speaking of answers that are truer, it is equally important to remember that there is always only one correct test question answer. While some answers may appear to be true, there will only ever be one that is an entirely true statement. Weed away answer selections that are not wholly true, and this will help you make the right choice. Number 5, make an educated guess. As I said earlier, you will never get negative points for choosing the wrong answer. If you find that you are running out of time, do your best to make an educated guess on all remaining questions, but only if you're running out of time. More than anything, don't let unfamiliar questions affect your confidence. You will, without a doubt, come across questions that feel entirely foreign to you, and this is on purpose. For example, the ICMA includes 10 test questions in each exam that are not scored. These are completely new questions, and the reason they're not scored is that the ICMA wants to gather information on whether or not it is actually a good question. If results come back positively, these not scored test questions will be added to future exams as actual scored questions. Like I said, make your best guess and just move on. Number 6, learn from your mistakes. 55% of people don't pass the CMA exam the first time. If you're part of this group, it means you got too many test questions wrong. It also means you're in good company, and you should feel motivated to study hard for round 2. Part of taking the CMA exam again and passing this time is evaluating what you did right versus what you did wrong. Figuring out where you went wrong and develop a strategy to address your mistakes will help you. Now that you are familiar with the format, you'll discover better tactics for achieving success in round number 2. Number 7, review, correct, and go back. There's a massive benefit to meticulously analyzing practice tests and practice test questions. Don't simply get it right and move on. This is especially true for the more challenging MCQs. The highest value you can get out of your practice CMA test questions is in reviewing what you got wrong as well as what you got right, because doing so will help you uncover patterns about the way you think that will help you improve. By comparing your right answers to your incorrect ones, you can learn about where your mind goes and where it doesn't when tackling CMA test questions. This allows you to focus on your blind spots and ensure you do better at the next pass. I'll go over how the CMA exam is scored next because you'll want to know. But you may be wondering what to do next after you've mastered answering exam questions. Well, now's the time to put all that mastery to work and register for the exam in an upcoming CMA testing window. Earning your CMA certification, or any professional certification for that matter, is meant to be difficult. You have to work hard to learn the material and be able to apply it in real situations. If you need resources to help you pass the exam, download my free CMA exam cheat sheet in PDF format. The download link is in the description below this video. Also, you can find the download link in my bio. Are you wondering how the CMA exam is scored? I thought so. Watch this next video where I go into detail about it. I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching.